The streets were already completely deserted. Before long, he followed the man to a basement, but the moment Andreas approached the window, the lights inside went out. A series of eerie melodies drifted out from within. Andreas failed to uncover the truth he was looking for, so he returned home and prepared himself a late-night meal. But the delicious-looking food before him was exactly as the man had described. He couldn't taste even the slightest bit of flavor. It seemed that every human sense had vanished in this place. Andreas couldn't help but wonder, was this a false paradise, or was it actually hell? So early the next morning, Andreas hurriedly got into his car and drove back to the gas station where he had first been picked up. He hid behind a large rock and patiently watched. Sure enough, the mysterious bus appeared once again. It brought another group of unfamiliar newcomers. This made Andreas even more certain that the exact same events were repeating here every single day. Without hesitation, Andreas immediately got back into his car and gave chase. But before he could get very far, the eerie bus suddenly vanished into thin air. Even the tire tracks abruptly came to an end, as if the bus had never existed at all. The very first lead in his investigation had completely disappeared. Left with no other choice, Andreas returned to work feeling utterly discouraged. His co-workers were still as warm and welcoming as ever, as though nothing unusual had happened. Not only did his boss not criticize him for being late, he even smiled and invited Andreas to that evening's gathering. This almost perfect level of acceptance only made Andreas feel that everything was becoming even more unreal. Looking at his boss's friendly smile, for the first time Andreas began to waver. Maybe staying here forever and never learning the truth wouldn't be such a bad thing after all. So he began making a genuine effort to fit in with his coworkers, trying to accept everything about this place. He also gradually became more positive about life, but every time he walked past the basement entrance, his footsteps would unconsciously slow down. That lingering feeling of unease kept reminding him that there was still a hidden secret waiting to be uncovered. When the evening gathering finally began, Andreas acted just like everyone else, pretending to enjoy the completely tasteless food. To fully become a part of this place, he let go of the reserve he had carried with him for the past 30 years, and took the initiative to confess his feelings to the beautiful woman beside him. But to his surprise, the people here were unbelievably open-minded. The woman agreed almost without a moment's hesitation. They even went home together that very night. The arrival of love gradually lowered Andreas's guard. He bought the latest model convertible sports car, and personally decorated his new home, doing everything he could to turn this place into the life he had always dreamed of. Everything seemed to be moving toward a happy future, but as they spent more and more time together, Andreas gradually realized that although his girlfriend was always by his side, she never truly cared about his happiness, sadness, or emotions. She always wore the exact same expression, as if she were simply responding according to a predetermined program. Only at that moment did Andreas finally realize that what was truly missing in this place might not be the sense of taste at all. So Andreas's attention gradually began to drift. He found himself becoming increasingly attracted to the warm and beautiful Ingeborg. To his surprise, Ingeborg was just as forward. After work, they began going on dates together. They watched movies together and enjoyed delicious ice cream. In a world where nothing felt truly wonderful, Andreas actually